And yet, so far, Fox News is firmly standing by their man and is citing some pretty weak reasoning.
Fox's parent company points out no current or former Fox News employee ever took advantage of the 21st Century Fox hotline to raise a concern about Bill O'Reilly.
So their defense is he can't be guilty because no one called HR to complain. But why would they? I'd always assumed that Fox News' HR department is just a telephone in an empty room being manned by a horny goat. Now, O'Reilly denies the claims, accusing these women of just wanting money. But Wendy Walsh isn't even asking for money. She just thinks everyone could learn a valuable lesson from this.
All men need to learn that a workplace is not a mating marketplace. And Bill O'Reilly, like the rest of us, needs to just use Tinder.
No, he absolutely does not need to do that. That would be terrible for literally everyone except Bumble, because they would have a rock-solid new ad campaign. That's going to hit hard and hit well. And look, whether O'Reilly is learning his lesson here or not, his advertisers are not hanging around to find out.
We've seen dozens of advertisers, our latest counts around 60 advertisers, go ahead and say we're not going to run our ads all around the O'Reilly factor anymore.
Well, that is not good news for Bill O'Reilly, and I would say that he should call his advertisers to apologise, but the problem is he might just start jerking off while they're on the phone. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Almost nobody is standing by Bill O'Reilly. Nobody, that is, apart from the President of the United States.
I think he's a person I know well. He's a good person. I think he may, I think he shouldn't have settled. Personally, I think he shouldn't have settled.
How come?
Because you should have taken it all the way. No, I know Bill. Bill's a good person. I don't think Bill would do anything wrong.
Nobody gets to be surprised by that, because it is entirely plausible that the hill our president is willing to die on is the one formed by Bill O'Reilly's workplace erection poking up against his old man slacks. So to recap this story for you, Bill O'Reilly needs advertisers and Donald Trump needs to understand sexual harassment. And here is where we come in. Because, as you may remember, our catheter cowboy has spent this year appearing in ads on Fox News explaining everything from the nuclear triads to the American Health Care Act. And I think you know where this is going. We have produced an ad to educate Donald Trump to air during the O'Reilly Factor in New York and D.C. We submitted it to stations on Friday, but weirdly, we haven't heard back from them since, which is a little surprising because we are one of the only advertisers offering to buy time on his show at the moment. And I do hope they don't reject this ad, but just in case they do, here's a sneak peek of what we would like the president to see.
Attention catheter patients.
Howdy again. I'm a professional cowboy. I use catheters, and there's two things I know. I don't like pain when I cath, and repeated unwanted sexual advances or obscene remarks in the workplace constitute sexual harassment. If there's a power disparity between the two parties, well, that's about as inappropriate as lubricating a catheter with hot sauce, partner. Why would you do that? I do not like pain when I cath. And if you've got a friend who is accused of something like that over and over again, I might think twice about defending him, because that just contributes to a culture where women don't want to come forward. And I know you might not care about that. But on some level, you gotta know, you're blowing this. You're sacrificing the chance to make society a better place on the altar of your towering ignorance and fragile ego. You are blowing this. That's all for now. Goodbye, everyone watching this, and definitely not one specific person. See you next time.
Moving on. Our main story tonight concerns democracy. Undeniably the best Greek export that doesn't have fruit at the bottom. Now, there is understandable concern at the moment about the personalities harming our democracy, but tonight let's talk about one of the major structural problems, and it's something that Democrats in particular love to complain about.
We have seen Republicans rig the system with their gerrymandering, often illegal gerrymandering.
There is gerrymandering to a fare thee well in states controlled by the Republicans.
Listen, political gerrymandering is probably one of the greatest threats to our democracy right now.
Well, slow down, that is a bit much. The greatest threat to our democracy right now is clearly whatever tweet the president has planned for Cinco de Mayo this year.